if you're new to the channel, my name is Lucy and I am the creator behind a small business called Lulu's Crochet and More down in Devon. Welcome to my channel. It's just going to be a really quick one today. My son's home, it's the Easter holidays, the daughter's out and about gallivanting with her boyfriend, so it's just the two of us, so he may come running through the door at any moment. You're also very precariously balanced, so if you wobble, I'm really, really sorry. But anyway, I'm just going to go through my last craft fair. So I did this one at the Plympton Scout Hut, which is a event that I've done several times before, and it was my third market of the season. I can hear my son. It's all good. So the first one that I did was my first market of the year, and it didn't go great. I touched on that in that video. This one was better, but I paid more for my table. Excuse me, I'm sick again. Surprise, surprise, when am I not? So I paid £15 for my table, and I made £53. It is what it is. Actually, the event holders have decided not to use that location anymore, so yeah, it's obviously not been going great for a lot of people. The glare is making me look like I'm looking way over there. I'm sorry, my curtains are open because it's a beautiful day. Anyway, I'm just going to go through what sold. So I sold 3 pairs of earrings. So I sell my earrings £3 a pair or 2 pairs for £5. So somebody took just 1 pair and somebody bought 2 pairs. I sold 3 popping mushrooms for £5 each, a duck-in hat for £4, a pop chick for £5, a baby turtle for £4, my big capybara, so the new one that I made, for £8, 2 bracelets, woohoo, first time, for £5, and a baby axolotl for £4. So yeah, £53. Again, not the best market that I've ever had, but still in profit. So yeah, I'm not going to complain. You know, profit is profit, and I was one of the lucky ones that actually made any money back, especially enough to cover my table. I've wobbled you again. I'm sorry. So yeah, so it was okay. Most of my sales were to other vendors, so thank you very much if you bought from me. And yeah, it was a fun day. I always take Isabella, so we get a bit of mummy-daughter time, as I said before. I know most of the crafters there, which is lovely, so we all, you know, have a chat and have a wander around and all that sort of thing. It's just a bit disheartening when people are coming in, walking up to your stall and immediately walking away, like not even saying good morning or hello. It was very much, they were coming in with something in mind, and if it wasn't there, it wasn't there, and that was that. They're not going to consider anything else. I didn't even give any business cards out. Like, nobody even picked up a business card, which is quite unusual. Normally I at least give out about 4. So that was a shame as well, because I have had, you know, people reach out or start following me on Instagram, which is really nice. Obviously, you know, it's nice to have people interested in what you do, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was successful enough that I made profit, covered my fuel costs, etc. But I have got something to show you. So I tagged her in my last video, Samantha, who runs the resin and pen stall. She also is now doing the most beautiful wine glasses and tumblers, and just gorgeous. She started making crochet hooks. Look what she gave me! Isn't it cute? It's so adorable. I was torn between 2. There was this one, and there was one that says, what was it? I think it was True Crime Junkie. And they were both 4.5mm, which I don't have. So I went over before we even opened, and I saw this and I grabbed it and I was like, you're not selling it, it's mine. 1 second, sorry, my son just came storming through the living room at a rate of knots. Yes, so she had all of her crochet hooks out. I saw this one. I was like, you're not selling it, it's mine. I'll come back and I'll buy it later. And I went to go and buy it and she wouldn't let me. So she very, very kindly gifted it to me and I am thrilled with it and I cannot wait to use it. In fact, I have a project in mind. I was watching another YouTuber whose name I can't remember, from Australia, and she has made like dragon snugglers, but they're like palm size. So I've started one in snug. I'm on the tail. 4. It's around a 4. I'm not even halfway. Actually, maybe I'm just over halfway. It's tricky. It's tricky. So I was just I was getting frustrated. So I thought I'll pause and I'll make a video and then I'll come back to it. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. It's got ears, little ears. They're really cute actually. Clever little ear. So yeah, so I'm making that in snug. And then I want to make another one in Yummy. This is silver, I believe. Somewhere, yes, silver. So I can use my new hook with the silver. I don't know whether I'll get that done today. We've already been out today. It's 3:30ish in the afternoon. So like I said, Iz has gone out with her boyfriend. Jake and I left the house, I don't know, 9:15 because he had a football friendly match against another development team. So that was fun. They played really well, actually. Jake did really well. He did a absolutely fantastic save. In fact, he did a couple. But it was really nice because everybody was cheering him and he was completely oblivious. He was just in the game. But no, he did really well. He shared the game with another goalkeeper because they do the development training together. So he played half of the game and the other lad played half of the game, which was really nice actually. Because they played on Astro and Jake has got Astro burn all up one elbow and on both of his knees. So I think he was quite pleased to have a little bit of time out. So it was nice because they did 15 rather than half an hour each. So it meant they weren't sat on the sideline for too long. It was nice. But yeah, so he's actually got football training again tonight at 6. So I'm going to try and get as much of this one done tonight as I can. And then I am doing an extra shift at work tomorrow. So instead of finishing at 2, I am doing a COVID clinic straight after. So I won't finish until about 4:30, depending on how it goes. So that'd be fun. It's I volunteered to do it. It's my own fault. But I figured Chris is not working tomorrow. He's actually got the day off. So rather than me coming home halfway through the day and feeling like I've wasted his day off, I could work it. In my head, it made sense at the time. So yeah, so that will be tomorrow. So if I have any energy left when I come home, I will try and do the smaller one if I don't get it started today. That was a very, very long-winded way of saying I probably won't start it tonight. I don't know why I went into that much detail. I'm really sorry. I'm not completely with it. I'm not feeling great at all, as you could probably hear. But it's fine. We just carry on, don't we? Strong British women, allegedly. I can hear it's all coming out now. It's ridiculous. It's one thing after another. But yeah, so sorry. So I've got no other craft fairs booked this month. One second. Sorry. Ugh. Yeah, so I've got no other craft fairs booked this month. I am thinking about doing one in May, but it's £35. It just puts me off. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because the 3 markets I've done so far haven't been super duper successful. That's what's putting me off. But it's in a really good location and I know that there's lots of footfall, but it's outside, so it's weather dependent. and it would mean that I need to get much better weights than I've already got for my gazebo. So there's an extra cost in there. Got to take my own tables, which is fine. I have my mum's table. She's quite happy to lend those out to me. But that means carrying them, which I know sounds lazy, but when you have carpal tunnel and you have tendonitis, that is the sort of thing that sets you off. So I'm like this. I applied for a Pride fair. I think I already told you that. Pride Festival, sorry. They are letting people know soon. I have got the Meavy Oak Fair in June, which should be really good. It was really good last year, really successful. But again, that is quite weather dependent. That one is also outside. So I am going to see if I can maybe borrow my friend's partner's gazebo for that one, just because it's a bit more sturdy than mine. If she can't lend it to me, it's not the end of the world. I'll use mine. So I suppose I've got to fork out for weights anyway. If I'm going to go down that route. What else have I got? I've got my friend from work's school fair in July. So her school fair is on the Friday, and then the Pride Festival, if I get in, is on the Saturday. So I don't want to book too much now, because if I get into that Pride Festival, I want more stock than I know what to do with, because I'll obviously have those two so close together, and I will have had June. So it'd be the 21st of June, 4th of July, 5th of July, and then potentially one mid-July, which I've not done before. So I don't know. I might just literally just not do any more until then and just stock up on inventory, because the school one, excuse me, I did the Christmas one with them last year and I made triple figures, and they have asked for me back, which is so sweet. Apparently they don't normally have vendors for their summer fete, so I feel very honoured. I'm very excited. I'm also very scared because it was chaos. Organised chaos, like it was, how it was supposed to be, but it wasn't what I was expecting at all, because I'm used to Jake's teeny tiny school, and that was a much bigger school, and lots more small people, and obviously I didn't know any of them, whereas at Jake's school I know most of the kids that come up to me. So if they're mucking about, not that any of these kids did, but if they were mucking about, I could be like, oi, Joe Blog, stop that sort of thing. Oh, here he comes again. 1 second. I forgot what I was saying now. Sorry. I was just having a little chat with the boy. Yeah, so, I felt like I could ask people to, step back or not touch that, blah, blah, blah. But actually, it was fine. It was just, I was very busy and I'm not used to it, and I was by myself. Isabella did want to come with me for that one, and I can't remember my reasoning behind her not coming, actually, because I'm sure it was a Friday night. Was it? I can't remember. Oh, I know what it was. It was when that storm hit, and I didn't want her to be unsafe, basically. It's one thing for me to put myself at risk, it's something else for me to put somebody else at risk. So, I wouldn't let her come. And there were, weather warnings and everybody's phones were going off and all sorts. It was nuts, actually. And my table nearly knocked me over when I tried to put it back in the car because it was so windy. But it was a really, really, really good event. So last year, my most successful ones were Meavy Oak Fair, my son's school, that school, and another school that I did. All 4 of those were triple figures. So hopefully I can do all of those again this year. It should be, something to aim for. It's going to be weird though, because Jake's obviously not going to be at his primary school anymore. So that's going to be really sad that I'm there, not as a parent anymore. But it'll be fine. So that's where my mind is at the minute. regarding markets, unless I hear of one last minute that takes my fancy, I suppose. What I am doing is I have my new notebook, as you may have seen. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I've just had a sip of Coke to try and clear my throat. Now all I've got is bubbles. Yeah, so I've got my got my new notebook, and what I'm doing is I'm writing all of my events in the back so that I can keep a tally of where I was, when, how much my table was, and how much I made. So hopefully going into next year, I'll be able to look back at this and use this as a bit more of a guide than I could the year before, because I forgot to do half of them. I've also added all my inventory to Square, and finally figured out that you can put cash and it will still record the sale. So I started doing that. So hopefully I don't miss any sales going forwards. We'll see how long that lasts. I'm not the most organised person on the planet. My inventory's probably already wrong. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is, because I added stuff that isn't added on there. Not that it matters, it's only little things, so it's not the end of the world. But it was really fun selling that big capybara, because it was the only one I made, and seeing sold out on my Square. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the first time I've ever sold out with something. So that was fun. Yeah, so plans are try and take it a little bit easy this month, now that I've done that craft fair. Get inventory built up, work on some of my bigger things, so like my spider, axolotls, the big ones. Don't need any more cats for the minute, really don't. I think I've got 10. And just play around with some new designs. Still want to try and find a new cow pattern, because I don't think that other one, for the amount of time it took and what I was charging, the math doesn't add up when I'm charging the same amount for a cat that takes me 45 minutes, and I'm charging £15 for that, and then I'm charging £15 for a cow that probably takes about 2 hours, including all the sewing. But that one did have patches to sew on and stuff. It was quite so heavy. But I'm trying to make this more of a business than a hobby, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to put some more thought into everything. I want to try and improve my social media platforms. I want to try posting more regularly, because I know I'm very sporadic. It's when the mood takes it, when I fancy it, which is why I've given this up for a second, and I'm doing this instead. I want to do more. I just want to do more. Yeah, I'd love to do a Comic-Con one day. I think that would be so much fun. They do one in Plymouth. No idea on the costs. And this is the thing. I'd need to be really confident in what stock I had and what I was making in order to do something like that. And even though I know all of my stuff is tested and safe, and I use the compliant yarn, and I use the safety eyes that are safe to use, and everything along that, and I have all of my technical files, and I've used the Facebook group God knows how many times when I first started out. They're probably sick. They probably blacklisted me at this point, the amount of questions I asked. I'm still really nervous about doing a really big event, because I feel like somebody's going to come up to me and be like, by the way, everything you've done is wrong. I don't know why, because I know I've done it. Like, you've seen me do it, I don't know, it scares me. Or there's going to be that one toy that somehow fails, even though it's been tested previously. I just panic. I worry. I do worry. It's why I still tend to avoid using safety eyes, even though I know that the ones I have are fine for the projects that I use them for. I'm still so wary of them, especially after those Tactile Craft Supply eyes came straight out of the Snug yarn, because I couldn't, well, we spoke about it, didn't we? I couldn't get the backs on. I think we did anyway. I couldn't get the backs far enough down, so when I did the weight test, they just popped straight out. So that pair of eyes obviously had to go straight in the bin, because the backs were no good. You know, if it pops out, it stretches the hole, so you definitely can't use it again. So yeah, so they had to go in the bin, which is a shame, because obviously then you're like, oh well, I paid so much for that pair of eyes and they're going bye bye. So for me, I prefer to just sew my eyes on, and I'm getting better. So I used to do little crochet eyes, and I have nothing to show you because all of my stuff's in the car. But I used to do little black circles, crocheted black circles with a little bit of white highlight. And now I most of the time do a little V or a little line, but I have started playing around with using a thicker yarn and doing several rows of black and then a little bit of white highlight. So they're looking better. So I am going to go back over some of my previous animals and redo these sewn eyes, because they still pass the credit card test. I pull them tight, you can't get anything underneath them. I think I showed you actually the popping mushroom, that sort of eye. So yes, I'm going to do some more like that because I think they look really nice. Obviously like I said however many times, my bigger toys will continue to have the glitter safety eyes once I test the new ones. I just need to figure out how the hell I'm supposed to get them on first because they're so different, and my poor little wrists are just like, no thank you, can't do it. Especially my right one at the minute, my tendonitis is playing up. You can actually see, I don't know if you can you see that? No, probably not. There's like a different colour to my skin where I had the previous steroid injection. You see where it's red? It literally changed the colour of my skin. It's really bizarre. But yeah, it's playing up again. So I don't know how I will do it, but I will figure it out. I think I'm just going to have to invest in that giant eye poppy tool thingy. Anyway, this really, really quick video is now 23 minutes long, and I'm going downhill again, I can hear it. I think I need to go and take some cold relief and get ready to take Jake to football because it's 4:20 already. We have to leave in just over an hour, so I'm going to go make sure that he has had something to eat. He's ready from this morning, so he doesn't need to get changed, and I'll just pop like a jumper in the car for him, and a coat for me just in case the weather suddenly drops. It's beautiful today, so I don't think it will, but I have said that before, and they obviously play in a massive open field, so if it's windy you feel it. There's no shelter, so I'll just take a couple of warm bits and maybe a herbal tea, and yeah. So I hope you all have a really, really good week. Sorry I haven't really shown you anything that I've made other than a dragon head and half a tail. But I will catch you all soon. Take care. Bye.